Hi, Shauna Holt, and today I am going to be coming at you with another live interview. So if you're catching the replay, comment replay below so that I can come back, circle back around, and say hi. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to tune in. So if you're live, say hi. Let me know that you can hear me while I'm waiting for my guest to come on. Let's see. I just want to let you know that I'm also having a special event starting tomorrow night. It is open. It's an open house in my Sisterhood of the Shrinking Pants weight loss support program. I'm getting other viewers that are asking to be in my live video, so this is trying to wait for those. There we go. So it's a private Facebook group for women only, and I'll be open. It'll be open to select guests through Monday morning. Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, how are you?
Good. So I was just telling them about my event. You have a chance to take a look around, see how it may help you to lose weight once and for all. If you're ready to finally get off that diet train, comment with the word sister, SISTER below, and I'll get you that information. I swear, as soon as I go on live, my dog starts barking. As soon as I start letting you talk, she won't hear me talk anymore and she'll be done. But
that's hilarious.
So my guest today is also partnered with the same organization that we both bring to you 100% plant-based products that help you with a lot of different things like stress and hormones and sleep and energy, and of course all of those things are actually a direct result in helping you to lose weight. So her name is Tiffany DeLuisi. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes, you did.
And she is the diet breakup mentor. So tell us why you call yourself that.
Oh, it's kind of a long story. Basically, I felt like I was on this dieting roller coaster all of my 20s and most of my 30s. And so kind of funny when I first started calling myself that, I still feel like I was kind of in that space. Yeah, so I had lost 70 pounds a few years ago after having my second baby. And so, of course, and then I went back to school, became a health coach. And of course, everybody's like, so what did you do? This is amazing, right? And so that's when I started helping people with weight loss. And then about 2 years ago, I started having all of these health issues, which kind of led to a diagnosis of fibromyalgia and Hashimoto's. And the weight came back like a vengeance. So I gained back like 45 pounds of the 7 pounds that it took me 3 years to lose in like a matter of like 3 or 4 months. And I couldn't figure out what was going on, like nothing. And I was like, great, now nobody's going to take me seriously, right? And I had a really good friend that said, Tiffany, have you ever read Health at Every Size? And I was like, well, I had an expert come on a summit with me a couple of years ago. I don't really buy into that. And she says, you need to read it. Have you ever read the book? And I said, no. So I went and read the book, and I learned so much about the dieting industry. I learned so much about our bodies and how it works. And I will tell you, I even went to school to be a certified health coach. Guess what they're preaching? Diets. That's what they told us. That's what they showed us how to do. It was just putting people on another diet. And so honestly, like that's what I learned. And so even though I thought it's not what it is, it was about a lot of restriction and a lot of things that just didn't, like this program, like the program actually came with like programs for me to sell to people. I will never use those with clients ever. It's just based on restriction. So anyway, I read this book. And it kind of helped me shift my mindset that there's so much more behind losing weight than this calories in and calories out and counting your points and measuring things in pretty little cups. And each of us are very unique. And you settle into this set point. And then I thought that's when I really started to embrace this like diet breakup mentor, is because for me, it's about more than just the weight loss. It's about my health. It's about being able to play with my kids. It's about not being in pain all day. It's about not having a 24-hour migraine for months, because that was happening. That became more important than how much the number on the scale said. And I was so tired of doctors just saying to me for the longest time, like, just go lose some weight and it'll solve your problem.
Right.
I'm like, that didn't solve my problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I took my daughter to the doctor just a few months ago, and that's exactly what he was telling her. You know what? You should just try this keto diet. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. We will talk when we go home, you know? So,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
it's funny because I've gotten to the point where I've gotten into some heated conversations with some doctors about, and especially, I always throw the neurologist and they're the best, mainly because he's so arrogant. And unfortunately, I have to see a neurologist, but I always am like, so how much nutritional coaching did you actually get in school? And he goes, well, I didn't need that because I treat with medicine. I'm like, well, there you have it, nothing. So don't tell me that, like, don't tell me, what clearly don't be telling people to, actually, he's never told me to lose weight. He just tells me to, let's just up the ante, Botox and more meds, and because that's where he makes the money, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, thank you. But I get into these
My
conversations.
daughter started going to a neurologist too.
Yeah.
But he's
maybe it's
not
just neurologists.
nearly
I don't know.
nothing like that. It wasn't him that had proclaimed that. So
like, I don't know what it is. Kind of arrogant.
He actually, when he got to see her, he's actually been saying, "Oh, great job." He had her start a journal. So I thought that was really
I've
cool.
done that.
Yep. Neurologists have.
Super important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the most common reason that you have seen that people fail or give up on that diet?
Well, I think failure is because it's not sustainable, right? I don't know why everybody comes to me and they say, but I'm following a 1,200 calorie diet. And I'm like, unless you're 90 pounds soaking wet, that's not sustainable. My kids eat more than 1,200 pounds a day, and they're like not even 50 pounds, okay? So I'm like, why do we think that that's sustainable and that that's okay? And then we wonder why we're starving all the time. But what we do is we think that that's what we have to do. We have to go into starvation mode. So it puts us into feast and famine mode, right? The famine mode. And so our body is like holding on to the fat. It's feeling deprived. We're turning off those hormones that say I'm hungry or I'm full. And we stop listening to what our body is telling us to do. And then after a while, when you're like, it's not working, or you just can't starve yourself any longer, then you're like, oh, I just had a binge because you needed to like give your body nutrients, right? And I think that's the biggest thing. And then we feel like failures when in fact it's not you, it's the diet.
Yeah, exactly. So what is your definition of health?
I think it's different for everybody. It's something I ask clients for themselves. But for me personally, it's having energy to play with my kids. It's being able to eliminate pain without excessive like medications. It's being able to thrive physically, mentally, and emotionally. And that's what it's become to me. And I know, like, even if you were to ask me that question 3 years ago, I would have been like, well, I need to be the ideal weight.
Right.
And nothing else. Like, who cares if there's anything else wrong with you, right? It's like, as long as you fit into this ideal weight. So I've really learned to redefine that for what that means to me.
Yeah. And for your clients as well.
Oh yeah. It's amazing to me how like they always slip, especially when I first working with them, they always slip it in. It's being this pound, like it's being fill in the blank pounds. It's wearing blank size. I'm like, that's not health. Like, let's take that out of the equation. And sometimes it takes a while for us to really think about that because we've been told by this multi-billion-dollar industry that our health equals our weight on the scale, and it doesn't.
Right, exactly.
There's so more to it. Yeah. Oops.
How do you get them to tell you what their ideal health would be without giving you those numbers?
Yeah, I think that, and I will tell you, the first time I worked with somebody, that's just where we start. It's all here. It's like the 6 inches between your ears is like the biggest work you'll ever do in your life. And that's where we start. And so as I start prompting and keep asking that question, as we start doing the work, things start to change, right? As we start to dive deeper and you start to find out, it's like, well, I'm exhausted and I have no energy all the time. Well, do you think that's related to your health? Oh, I've never thought about that. Yes, it is. Or I have a lot of stress. I'm just a really stressful person. Do you think that relates to your health? Oh, I guess it does. So as I get to know people and you start to learn these things about them, that's when you start to kind of be able to prompt or be able to help them see that these are all the things that are related to your health. And so even when you say, I want to lose weight or I need to lose weight, because I think sometimes we're in that position where we need to, we but why is it? It's not so that we look a certain size. It's not so that the certain number shows up for us on the scale. It's for a much bigger reason. And it's because of those health issues that are happening. And so we have to dig a little deeper to find those. That's what I love about the health assessment that Shannon and I both do, is that um, it helps them think about that. It's like, well, do you have a problem with this? Oh, yeah, right? Or no.
Mm-hmm.
Where usually they don't think about that. They think the only problem is the number.
Right. And then they're like, okay, well, what does all this have to do with weight loss? I just want to lose weight. And well, if you're tired all the time, if you're, you know, if you're in
Mm-hmm.
pain, how's your body going to allow you to lose weight? You're going to have to, it wants to balance out all those other systems in your body first.
Yes.
Right. Mm.
Um, my goal really when working with clients is to help them make this shift that weight loss is an added bonus. So if you can get your life back, whereas you have your energy again, you're not in pain anymore. Um, over half the clients I've worked with over the last 3 years are diabetic or pre-diabetic. If you can get your insulin levels under control without always having to rely on medication every single day or be able to reduce your medication, that is the win. And the weight loss is an added bonus. And so that's been huge because usually the weight loss comes with it. It almost always comes with it.
Mhm.
But when that's the only thing we're focusing on, it creates this additional stress. And when you're under stress, you're not going to lose weight because there's other, your body is just, it's only focusing on that stress. It's not focusing on digesting. It's not focusing on burning fat. And so when that's what you're obsessed with, that you're creating a stress that's causing a problem.
Right. And so what is your main focus when you start with clients?
My main focus really is the mindset, and it really kind of takes a lot of diving deep. I kind of use a cognitive approach of asking a lot of questions to kind of find out where they're at. A lot of times it's such a self-esteem thing, right? We put so much of our worth and so much of our esteem into how we look. Oh, what was that?
My husband's alarm.
Oh,
Go on.
what in the world? Yeah. um we put so much of that into like our being and our worth that we kind of have to break free of that first. And once we start to break free of that, then we can start to see um that I'm worthy as I am regardless of what I weigh. I'm worthy of who I am regardless of whether I ever lose weight. And I think that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing to work through. And sometimes I work with clients for like 12 weeks just on mindset before we can shift to anything else. But you can't shift to anything else until this changes.
Right. Absolutely.
I feel like a
So if you,
therapist sometimes, actually. Call myself a
right?
food therapist or a diet therapist.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
What do you tell them if they're asking you for, well, how many calories should I eat?
Yeah. I think people learn pretty quickly now working with me that it's that don't ask that question anymore, right? Like they know that that's just going to be off limits. I actually focus like it's actually more important to take the focus off calories and focus on eating whole foods and listening to your body. And sometimes that's the hardest thing to do is like I want you to just pay attention. Are you hungry? If so, eat.
Mhm.
I don't care if your like idea says, but I'm not supposed to eat till 1 p.m. and it's noon. No. Like, put that out the window. Are you hungry?
Mhm.
Eat. And then as you're eating, am I still hungry? Keep eating. Am I full? Stop. Because we've turned that off. Like, when you feed a baby, they're not like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm only supposed to have, 4 ounces, not 6, right? Like, they don't do that, right? They have that, and that's how we were born. It's like that was given to us as a survival mechanism, but yet we've turned it off with dieting. Like, so we stopped listening. So starting to listen to our body's cues on what we need, because our bodies will tell us what they need, right? And so, you're going to know if all you eat is ice cream, chips, sugar. Like, you're going to feel like crap. Your body's telling you that that's not what you need. So it's learning to listen to our bodies instead of like looking at this formula of what to eat. But believe it or not, a lot of times it's telling people to eat more, and that shocks them. They're like, what do you mean double what I'm like, you need to eat
Right.
more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you could send a message to yourself 10 years ago, what would you tell the younger Tiffany?
Oh, 10 years ago. Don't go back into Weight Watchers. I guess that's the biggest one. I'm always like, I know I always throw them under the bus, but it's like, how many times you walk back in the door and it doesn't work and you keep doing it. But I always kind of joke around. I'm like, I wish I was as skinny as I was the first time I went to Weight Watchers, because seriously, like, what was I thinking, right?
Right.
So I think that would have been a big one. I mean, it's kind of interesting because 10 years ago, like right now, I was trying to get pregnant. So I don't know that I was thinking about dieting. I was thinking about, I want to have a baby, right? So that's kind of where I was at. But yeah, I think I would be like, just don't do it. Like, just eat and like, don't worry about it.
Right. And that gets ingrained in our brain at such a young age. I know even in high school, when
Yeah.
I was like very, very small, I would still be like comparing myself to, the other girls and be worrying about, yeah, most definitely. So, final question:
Okay.
room, desk, or car? Which would you clean first?
Oh, sorry. You kind of cut out for a minute. So say that again.
Your room, your house, desk, or car? Which would you clean first? Totally off topic,
Right.
I know.
Desk. I spend a lot of time at my desk and it looks like a huge mess right now. That's what it. But then I'm sitting there like, but I have work to do. I don't have time to clean the desk.
Right? But you're kind of scattered if the area that you're
Yeah, that's
in is
true. It's kind of a catch.
disorganized.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so
Yeah.
much for the interview with me today. There were so many
Thank
great
you.
nuggets that I know I would go back and watch, and I know that I've seen a few of the viewers on already that I'm sure they've gotten a lot out of this. How important mindset is. So, thank you, and
Thank you for having me.
if you have any questions, be sure to plant them below. I'm sure I and Tiffany would come back and answer them for you. And I hope
Yep.
that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.